LEIGHTDICKEY.com. Do you have an event or occasion coming up that could use a special touch? Perhaps a wedding, a production, a show? Good! Then you're in luck. Hayley Moores is who you're looking for. Hayley is a makeup artist in the Toronto, Ontario area, specializing in bridal, glam, natural, and special effects. She's incredibly talented, professional, easy to work with, and has a personality that is second to none. To book Hayley Moores today, follow her on Instagram at mad_milash, that's MAD_MILASH, or email her at madmilash, again that's MADMILASH @gmail.com. Book Hayley Moores today, you'll be glad you did. LEIGHTDICKEY.com. LEIGHTDICKEY.com. Do you find yourself reminiscing on what life was like when you were younger? Do your favorite songs, movies, and TV shows instantly take you back to a simpler time? Great! Then you're in the right place. Join me, Leigh Dickey, on my new web series and podcast, Yo Nostalgia, where I cover everything you grew up with. From films and toys to fads and trends, Yo Nostalgia has it all. Subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and wherever podcasts are available. Follow along on social media at Yo Nostalgia Show to keep up on this time-traveling trip. Yo Nostalgia, breathing new life into your memories, available everywhere now. LEIGHTDICKEY.com. LEIGHTDICKEY.com. What's going on, everybody? Leigh Dickey here. Welcome to a brand new episode of the Beats and Speaks podcast. Today, I figure I'll give you guys a bit of a bonus show. I wasn't initially planning on doing an episode on this topic, but since the world is all consumed with the coronavirus and COVID-19 and basically having the world completely upside down and shut itself down because this thing spreads like wildfire, I figured I would tell you all how I'm dealing with it. So that's what this bonus show is going to be and what the topic is going to be for this specific episode. But before we get into the main event, before we get into this coronavirus COVID-19 and how we're all dealing with it kind of show, I figured I'll tell you where you can find the Beats and Speaks podcast. Of course, new episodes of the Beats and Speaks podcast are released every single Friday on my official website, LEIGHTDICKEY.com, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and wherever podcasts are available. Please do find us on YouTube as well under Leigh Dickey TV. Rate us 5 stars and leave us reviews because that helps us climb in the rankings, which means more episodes for you guys because I really do enjoy doing this show. All right, now that all that housekeeping is out of the way, before I forget, follow along with the show and with me on social media at Leigh T. Dickey. Send an email to LeighTDickey@gmail.com. All right, now that all the housekeeping is out of the way and all the T's are crossed and I's are dotted, let's get into how I'm dealing with the COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic crisis issue right now, right here on the Beats and Speaks podcast. All right, so yes, the coronavirus COVID-19 pandemic that is all over the world right now. Like I said in the intro, I wasn't initially going to do an episode on this topic, but I figure, you know what, I'll tell you how I've been managing throughout the whole ordeal and the whole situation. Now, we all have governing bodies within our respective countries that have laid out guidelines such as social distancing, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer if you have it, and just, keep yourself clean and at a distance from everybody. Just stay indoors, basically self-quarantine and stay at home for 14 days plus. Who knows how long this is going to go on for. Now, granted, as of this recording, today is March 27th, China is slowly getting back to normal because they haven't recorded any new cases in a little while. So I suppose that's the silver lining for them anyway, where they can get back to normal. And I hope that everybody is staying safe and staying healthy. Please stay home. Don't leave unless you have to. I think the only trips that I have made in the last 2 weeks are to the grocery store. I have not left the house. And actually, I'm recording this while sitting in the sun on my driveway. I'm still within superb walking distance of my front door. I'm just sitting in the sun on a chair, on a dining chair in my driveway. So how I'm managing through the whole COVID-19 pandemic, don't get me wrong, I'm not happy about having to stay home, but it's a necessary evil, much like everybody else. Like, nobody likes to stay indoors all the time. If you do, then I suppose this is just going to be a walk in the park for you, but I would much rather be outside. I'd much rather be going for a walk. Anybody that really knows me knows that I love to go for walks, and I do that daily. So not being able to do that daily it hurts, it sucks, but it's just the way it is, and I, much like everybody else, has to abide by the rules. And they say stay indoors and try and avoid as much contact with people as you possibly can. Don't go out unless you have to. The thing is, if anything, in these last couple of weeks, I have produced more content for this show, the Beats and Speaks podcast, and my other show, Yo Nostalgia, than I ever did before, right? Specifically in terms of the Beats and Speaks podcast, I'm 4 weeks ahead of schedule as of this recording. I am a month ahead of schedule. I've got episodes produced and ready to be released right up until the end of April. So am I happy about that? Yeah, because this whole pandemic has caused me to buckle down a little more, focus on my work more than I usually would, and it's caused me to, I've basically thrown my already just crazy work ethic into another gear, and I'm 4 weeks ahead of schedule. By the time today is done, I may be 5 or 6 weeks ahead of schedule, so I'm happy about that. And to be quite honest with you, yes, there's only so much I can stream on YouTube, Netflix, Disney Plus, or any of the other streaming services out there. But I mean, that's, how we have to survive, and basically you try to get as much information as you can. That's how I try and stay sane. Like, music is a big part of that. I'm a big fan of music. I love anything from, say, like the 70s, 80s, 90s. I love smooth jazz, so I'm listening to a lot of my favorites. Like, Norman Brown is one of my favorite jazz players. Same thing with Wayman Tisdale, Boney James, and then you've got things from the 80s. Like, I'm a huge Rick Springfield fan, right? And I'm just a big fan of anything like from the 90s, because that's the time where I grew up. So I'm still a giant fan of the Backstreet Boys. I love NSYNC. You guys remember Aqua? Like, I'm a Barbie girl living in a Barbie world, and so on and so forth. Okay, I'll listen to them, or anything that I can get my chair dance on to. Like, if Dancing with the Stars handed out a mirror ball trophy for dancing in your chair, that would go to me, hands down, no questions asked. But in terms of managing, like, I've been okay. My mom has been okay. We're not sick. We haven't shown any symptoms. Like, we're fine, and we're healthy as can be. So, hoping that everybody else can just, obey the guidelines as they've been laid out to you. Stay healthy, embrace your loved ones, and we'll get through this. Like, we have to get past this. We've gotten past everything else. We're going to get past this. Yes, it's a pandemic. Yes, it's a problem, but it's just a problem, and we've been tasked with solving it. And yes, it's going to take a while, I'm sure, because this isn't just a fly-by-night, overnight thing where you're going to snap your fingers and it's all going to go away. But if we all do our part, as in, like, wash your hands, keep your distance, just be more mindful of your surroundings, you should be fine. And we all should be fine. So to everybody on the front lines, everybody that has to work and is deemed to work in an essential service, the paramedics, doctors, nurses, the people within, certain retail businesses like coffee shops and small businesses, thank you very much. Thank you for keeping everybody afloat as much as you possibly can. We appreciate you. I appreciate you. Everybody appreciates you. Please do take care of yourself and take care of your loved ones. We should be fine. We should get through this. It will all be okay. So, as I said, as of this recording, I'm 4 weeks ahead of schedule in terms of episodes for the Beats and Speaks podcast, because that's what self-isolation does. It kind of forces you to, at least for me, Like, instead of going stir crazy when I'm in the house, I'd much rather create and produce content. I'd much rather keep myself as busy as humanly possible. If anything, I'm working more during this whole pandemic than I did before, you know. So this is, I don't want to call it a blessing in disguise, but I'm just kind of throwing everything into a microphone. I'm, giving you as much content as I possibly can. And as of yesterday, we were 4 weeks ahead of schedule. So with this as a bonus show, that'll just be the cherry on top of the sundae. And then, like, as I said earlier, hopefully by the end of today, I'll be 5 or 6 weeks ahead of schedule and we can focus on the next thing. And the reason I'm banking episodes and just trying to get ahead of schedule as much as humanly possible, because I have many other projects and passions that I'm involved in. I want to get back to producing and writing music, which is something I do. I want to do more on-camera work. I just want to do as much work as I can to keep myself from going stir crazy. And even before this whole coronavirus thing hit, that's how I would handle things. If I ever ran into an issue or I was ever upset about something, I would just throw myself right back into my work, and that was my happy place. And it still is my happy place. Like, there is no better feeling for me other than let's do as much work as humanly possible while I can, right? Let's just work as hard as I can for you guys and for everybody that hires me, all my clients. I just want to work, work, work. That is, like, if I was going to get a tattoo, it would just be work across, like, either my chest or my back or even on my arms, somewhere where I could see it. Maybe even get my knuckles tattooed with those 4 letters, work, because that's what I live for. I live for work, and I live to work, and it's just something I really, really enjoy doing. I love to work, and I love doing this stuff. I love producing this show. I love hosting this show. I love talking to you guys through the advent of a microphone and the internet, any sort of medium there is out there. So it's actually really, really nice to get ahead of schedule, because that's something that's never happened to me in the history of LEIGHTDICKEY Media, the Beats and Speaks podcast, or any other production stuff that I've been involved in. You just kind of take it one day at a time and 1 week at a time. And with this sort of cloud or situation, enveloping the world right now and being told to stay indoors, I've just thrown everything into maximum overdrive, and I have managed to produce multiple episodes within a matter of days. I think I've done 4 or 5 episodes easily within the last 3 or 4 days. And, I can't ask for anything better than that, because then if I'm, 4 weeks ahead of schedule now, I can focus for the next little while on doing something else, on focusing on another passion of mine. Or I can focus on doing more episodes for Yo Nostalgia, or I can focus on music or graphic design or art or any other passion that I might have, photography, things like that, voiceover work, doing promos or commercials and things like that. It's all about, okay, can I get ahead of schedule? Can I get ahead of the curve so I can focus on something else for a little while? As much as I love doing the show, I do have other passions that I would like to get back to. And that's pretty much how I'm handling the COVID-19 coronavirus situation right now. I just wanted to let you guys know how I'm handling it, which is basically, as I've said and reiterated through this entire episode, it's basically me, a microphone, and pump out as many episodes as I can in as little time as I can. And if you guys happen to hear anything right now through the episode or on the recording, it's other than my voice, it's the outside ambience, because as I stated earlier, I am sitting on a dining chair, enjoying the sun, just soaking in the rays while on my driveway. This is the extent of going out in terms of this COVID-19 coronavirus pandemic. This is going out. This is fun now. Don't get me wrong. I just wanted to get out of the house for a little bit and enjoy the sun, so I'm just sitting on my driveway. I've got a bottle of water on my right and a cup of coffee on my left. So it's fun for me. This is fun, and I'm actually enjoying it. I just want to soak up the sun and give you guys as much information and as much, entertainment and fun, and give you guys a reason to smile and give you guys a reason to get distracted. I want to distract you guys from what's going on in the world as much as I want to distract myself. And I certainly hope that this is something that I've done for you, because as much as this show, the Beats and Speaks podcast, and any other production stuff that I do is very therapeutic for me and is very distracting for me throughout my life in general, but especially now in this time frame, I hope it's as distracting for you, and it gives you some sense of hope, and it gives you something to hold on to while we all try and get through this in our own little way. But please do stay safe, be cognizant of your surroundings, be mindful of each other, keep your distance, practice your social distancing, wash your hands, carry hand sanitizer if you have to, and just be safe and be careful and take care of each other and your loved ones as much as humanly possible and as much as you can. But that wraps it up for this week on the Beats and Speaks podcast and this special bonus show on how I am dealing with coronavirus and the COVID-19 pandemic. Hope you all are well. Please comment, like, share, and subscribe. Find us on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, and wherever podcasts are available. We're on YouTube as well under Leigh Dickey TV. Go to my official website, LEIGHTDICKEY.com, because you can find all the episodes there. Rate us 5 stars and leave us reviews, because that helps us climb in the rankings, which means you guys get more episodes and more content, which means yay, good times. All right. If you want to follow along, find us on social media at LeighTDickey. Email me at LeighTDickey@gmail.com. And we will see you all and talk to you all next Friday for a brand new episode of the Beats and Speaks podcast. I've been Leigh Dickey. This has been the Beats and Speaks podcast, and I am signing off. Peace. LeighTDickey.com